Raads Test? This is like... Of course you're gonna tell me that I'm autistic. This isn't a doctor. I am a sympathetic person. True, only when I was younger than 16. What? True, only now. What? Never true. True, now and when I was young. I often use words and phrases from movies and television in conversation. Sometimes. What? No, it's only sometimes. Okay, sure. I am often surprised when others tell me I have been rude. I'm never surprised. Sometimes I talk too loudly or too softly and I'm not aware. I guess.
Holy crap,
I often don't know how to act in social situations. True. But like a lot of people, that's true. I can put myself in other people's shoes. Yeah. I have a hard time figuring out what phrases mean. Like, you are the apple of my eye. No, I don't know how. I only talk to people who share my special interests. No. I focus on details rather than the overall idea. No, I try to focus on everything. This test is stupid. I always notice how food feels in my mouth. No. I miss my best friends or family when we are apart for a long time. Yeah? Doesn't everybody? Sometimes I offend others by saying what I'm thinking. True. I only like to think and talk about a few things that interest me. No. Well, no. I'd rather go out to eat in a restaurant by myself than with someone I know. No. No. I mean, that can apply to people who hate people. I cannot imagine what it would be like to be somebody else. No. I always daydream about that. I have been told that I am clumsy. Yes. Of course. Others consider me odd. No. Okay. I understand when friends need to be comforted. Mm-hmm. I am very sensitive to the way my clothes feel when I touch them. How they feel is more important to me than how they look. No. I like to copy the way certain people speak and act. It helps me appear more normal. Okay, yes, velvet. I don't like the texture of velvet. That doesn't mean that all my clothes, the way that they feel is more important than how they look. Because I've worn velvet before, even though I don't like it. It can be very intimidating for me to talk to more than one person at the same time. No, I talk to people all the time. I talk to all sorts of people all the time. And then there's also conversations going on in my head at the same time that I'm talking to people. I have to act normal to please other people and make them like me. Yes. Meeting new people is usually easy for me. Sometimes I get highly confused when someone interrupts me when I'm talking about something I'm interested in. No. It is difficult for me to understand how people are feeling when we are talking. No. I like having a conversation with several people, for instance, around a dinner table at work or at school. Yeah? What? I don't get it. Sure. I take things too literally. I often miss what people are trying to say. Sometimes, but not really. It is very difficult for me to understand when someone is embarrassed or jealous. True, when I was younger, I didn't understand that at all. That was very weird. Some ordinary textures that do not bother others feel offensive when they touch my skin. I get extremely upset when the way I like to do things is suddenly changed. I have never wanted or needed to have what other people call an intimate relationship. No. It is difficult for me to start and stop a conversation. I need to keep it going until I'm finished. No, I get cut off all the time. I speak with a normal rhythm. Yeah? Surely? The same sound, color, or texture can suddenly change from very sensitive to very dull. No. The phrase, "I've got you under my skin," makes me feel uncomfortable. No. Sometimes the sound of a word or a high-pitched noise can be painful. No. I'm an understanding type of person. Yeah, I sure am. I do not connect with characters in movies and cannot feel what they feel. No. I cry during movies. I cannot tell when someone is flirting with me. I don't know if they are. True. I can see in my mind in exact detail things that I am interested in. Yeah. I keep lists of things that interest me even when I have no particular use. For example, sports statistics, strange schedules, calendar dates, historical facts. Yeah, but they have practical use. I like talking about them in conversations. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them out. Senses? Like, I get overstimulated sometimes, but everyone does. What? I have news. No, you don't. No. I like to talk things over with my friends. Duh. I cannot tell if somebody's interested or bored or what I'm saying. Well, sometimes people are fake, but I mean, usually I'm okay at sussing them out. Okay. It can be very hard to read someone's face, hand, and body movement when they are talking. No. The same thing, like clothes or temperatures, can feel different to me at different times. I feel very comfortable dating or being in social situations with others. What kind of social situations? What kind of dating? No, I'm not that comfortable with any of that, actually. It depends. I mean, it all depends. Sometimes it's very comfortable. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. It depends on the people and the place. If the place is crazy, I usually don't like it that much. If the person is crazy, I'm definitely uncomfortable. I try to be as helpful as I can when others tell me their personal problems. Yep. Yeah, I do. Sometimes too much. I've been told that I have an unusual voice. Sometimes a thought or a subject gets stuck in my mind, and I have to talk about it even if no one is interested. Sometimes, but not really. I can hold it in. I do certain things with my hands over and over again, like flapping, twirling sticks or strings, waving things by my eyes. No. I've never been interested in what most people I know consider interesting. I'm interested in all sorts of things. What? This is not flapping. This is me explaining things. Sometimes I'm explaining. People move their hands when they're talking about certain things. It's not like all of a sudden I'm just sitting in the car and I start going, like, because that's what it makes it sound like. Like, I don't know. I'm considered a compassionate type of person. I'd like to think so. I get along with other people by following a set of specific rules that help me look normal. Yes. Yeah, I guess. It is very difficult for me to work and function in groups. No. When I'm talking to someone, it's hard to change the subject. If the other person does, I can get very upset and confused. No. How long is this? Sometimes I need to cover my ears. Like the vacuum. No. I can chat and make small talk with people. Yes. It's painful, but yes. Sometimes things that should feel painful are not. When I hurt myself or burn my hand on the stove. True. When talking to someone, I have a hard time telling when it's my turn to talk or to listen. No. I know when I'm... Yesterday I was very quiet because there was too many people talking. I'm considered a loner by those who know me best. True, but I like to socialize for the most part. So when I was younger, I usually speak in a normal tone. What the fuck is a normal tone? Yes, I'm normal. I like things to be exactly the same every and ever. How to make friends and socialize is a mystery to me. It used to be. It calms me to spin around or rock in a chair. Yeah. Like, but not... Like, no, I'm not saying that. The phrase, he wears his heart on his sleeve, does not make sense to me. No. If I... What? I don't rock in a chair. You're acting like I do this. Because I'm like, oh no, something bad is happening. Oh no, something bad is happening. Oh no, something bad is happening. That's not the case. Okay? I'm like everybody else. I'll like do this if I'm like feeling a little bit stressed. This is self-soothing. Or I'll like do this, you know. If I'm in a place where there are many smells, textures to feel, noises, or bright lights, I feel anxious or frightened. Still just laying down there. It really depends on how loud everything is. And if there's guys who are trying to hit on me. And if they're drinking and it's dark. Otherwise, no. I can tell when someone says one thing but means something else. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I like to be myself as much as I can. Yes. I keep my thoughts stacked in my memory like they are filing cards, and I pick out the ones I need by looking through the stack and finding the right one. No, but that's very poetic. I don't think like that. My cards are flying around my room at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and sometimes I reach out and grab one, and it ends up being the wrong one. The same sounds sometimes seem very loud or very soft, even though I know it has not changed. No. Maybe, I don't know. I enjoy spending time eating and talking with my family and friends. Yeah, I guess. I can't tolerate things I dislike. I can tolerate them, chat. I can tolerate them. It's just I don't like them. I don't like to be hugged or held. When I go somewhere, I have to follow a familiar route, or I get confused and upset. No. It is difficult to figure out what other people expect of me. True. I like to have close friends. True. People tell me that I give too much detail. No. I'm often told that I ask embarrassing questions. No. I tend to point out other people's mistakes. Sometimes. If they ask. True. I guess if they need help. I don't know. What does this even mean? Okay, wait. Okay, my score is 64. The minimum score at which autism is considered. I'm not autistic.